Hello, everyone, and welcome. You are listening to Dispatches, conversations about getting through the COVID crisis with community care, mutual aid, and personal and collective resilience. Today's episode is about one busy family and how they are doing food and supply drop-offs that make a difference for over 100 people. So, one of the tenets of mutual aid is that it is grounded in solidarity and not charity. And that difference can feel theoretical sometimes, but I think when you hear Boo Torres talk about what her and her family are up to, you can feel the embodiment of what Edward Galeano calls the horizontal respect of solidarity versus the top-down relationship of charity. Boo and her partner Joanne are incredible doers and builders, both literally and figuratively. They make stuff happen in a house with a big family. One of them has a business to run. The other is the executive director of an organization, and they are out being generous and connected. So I heard through the grapevine that in addition to all they are usually doing and holding, they are making massive food runs for lots of people. And I wanted to find out how they were figuring this out. So Boo got on the phone with me and talked to me about it in the midst of kids and grandkids running in and out of the house, which you'll hear in the opening of the conversation. You'll hear from Boo Torres and her daughter Amber. Boo is a queer Chamorro mother of 5, grandmother of 2, living in Skyway, Washington. She is a union electrician and the owner and operator of Tribal Electric LLC. I love this conversation because it is so satisfying to me to get down to brass tacks, and Boo shares some practical advice and wisdom about how she convinced her people to receive help, about how she thinks about fortifying her team so they can be of service to others, about how she parents and grandparents towards values of collective care and mutual aid. And I'm your host, Becca Tilson. I'm an organizer and a movement baby and a somatics practitioner and a mother living in Duwamish territory, otherwise known as Seattle. We started this podcast in the tradition of our community organizing ancestors who taught us that we need each other and we have each other, and that even in these unprecedented times, we collectively do have what it takes to meet this moment: creativity, love, and grit.
It's time to go outside, loves. Why? I'm going to talk to my friend, okay? I'm sorry, Becca. I don't know your pronouns.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. She and her. Yours is what?
She and her.
She and her. Okay, great. No problem to have kiddos. So this is supposed to be like in the middle of our real life, not a break from real life. So
my name is Boo Torres. I live in a small house in Skyway with my wife, Joanne Alcantara, my 3 of 5 children, Amber, Bagaya, her son, Jonah, and my other 2 kids, Knuckles and Mango.
So we've known each other for many years, but I don't know lots about what you're doing in the world. But I heard that you were dropping off food, and I'd love to just hear about that. I want to know anything you want to tell me about how this COVID crisis is impacting your life.
Sure. Well, I'm an owner of a small business. My wife and I own Tribal Electric. A few weeks ago, we pulled the plug on our business sooner than a lot of people did. So this is actually our 3rd week of no work. And when we knew what was going on, I just didn't have a clear sense of how to keep my apprentice safe, as well as myself. So I just had to pull the plug. We decided that we were going to encourage our close circles to self-quarantine. And we can't just say that without offering help, right? So we have done the big grocery shops and loaded up. We were those people, took 10 cans of Spam off the shelf, but then we delivered it to the people that we knew were, hold on just a second. Why don't you get an apple, my love? Okay, and then we'll talk about a snack in a minute, okay?
Is that a 6-year-old?
She's 5, and then my grandson is 4, and then my son is 3. I have 1 other grandson, but he doesn't live with me, and 2 other older daughters that don't live with me. Okay, so anyways, there are people in our circles who are immune compromised, who are elders, and we wanted to support them in wellness. So what we would do is me and Joanne have this system of going to the grocery store, knowing what people need. We've got them to submit to giving us lists, because what we started doing was everyone, denied help, and we just left food at their door.
That's interesting. So you asked people if they wanted help, and then they said no.
Yes.
And then you said BS.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a very important piece of the puzzle, I think, because I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
It's really hard to accept help.
It is really hard, especially like when we're in circles of really good people who also want to help.
Sure.
But if they don't have the ability to do it, like Joe and I are in this privileged position where there are two of us in a house who are capable of helping. So, one of us can stay at home and take care of the kids, and the other one can go out and take care of our community. There are people who don't have two well grown ups.
Yes.
Yeah. Do that, right? And we're both young and we're healthy, so and we're also really mindful about the social distancing and all that stuff. We take it really seriously because we understand.
So you're helping them not have to leave the house and not spread.
Yeah, that's the goal. I think one of the things that was super helpful for me and that in the beginning started to turn me around as far as how I live my day, we're not supposed to be going out thinking COVID-19 is out there and I have to protect myself from it. We should be thinking about it like I might have COVID-19 and my responsibility is not to spread it because we don't have symptoms for a while. And then my body could take it fine, but then could kill somebody right next to me. That's horrible.
Yes.
That freaks me out.
Yes.
So before this whole thing came out, I had a cough that I couldn't get rid of. I didn't have any other symptoms. I just had a horrible cough. Never had a fever, never. Anyways, when that was happening, Joe was like, I need you to lay in bed all day and just get better because I need you. If we're going to help our community, I need you to be solid. By taking care of myself, I can take care of more people. That's what might be helpful for folks who don't want to receive help. They understand that it's temporary. You get your household solid so that you can go and help other people. And so what happened was, when we were trying to ask people, can we drop food off? We're fine. We would start leaving food at their door and then driving away and then calling them saying, we left you something. And then we did that a couple of times. And then we're like, can you just give me a list of what you'd like to eat? Tell me what you want. We'll go shopping for it. And that's how it's worked out. So now folks are giving us lists of things that are important to them.
So you have all these folks that you made them take your food. And that really did it sound like it melted something. Like I can imagine that if you dropped off food at my house, or, if anybody in my life did, that part of me that wanted to say, no, I don't need it. If I was sick or if I couldn't leave would go, oh geez, if you're going to go do it anyway, I might as well give you the list of the things I actually want.
Yeah.
Okay. So how many people, families do you have in your rotation, or have you done drop-offs? How many places have you dropped off?
6 regulars. So every week.
Wow. Every week.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We also have a tent city in our neighborhood. So they were kind enough to give us a list of things that is helpful for them. My daughter, we would take all of the kids with us to do the food drop-offs. The kids are strapped in the car, they never get out, and all the food is in a separate part of the van. But I think it's important for our kids to see this and to be part of it, so it's not so foreign to them. What
do you want them to see, feel, believe, and carry with them into adulthood? How do you want them to talk about this time and just in general what they've learned through their parents and their grandparents?
I think that before the pandemic, we laid a pretty good foundation with them. We was talking about how people are important and all people. So workers are a big deal in our family. Like every time we go to a restaurant, I asked them, can you spot how many workers there are? Let's count the workers. And look, there's a worker over here taking money, and here's a worker over here making the food. The worker over here is cleaning a table for us. Workers are huge because we're ingraining in them to notice workers and to respect workers. One, because they will also be workers. Two, a safety thing. A lot of people want to say, if you're lost, find a cop. And that's not safe.
No, not for everyone.
Yeah, not for everybody. But you can always spot a worker. So now what they know about this pandemic is that there are a lot of people getting sick and a lot of people who are dying. And that's what they know about the virus. They also know about death. We're not shy about talking to them about death. They've had death in the family already. We had a dog that died. One of their grandmas died. We talked to them about, and this is part of my culture, when people die, they become mamonas, and that's in my language. It's literally people from the past, and they just become spirits who help guide us now. So anytime they miss their dog Luna, they know that Luna's in their heart. They look up at the moon and they say, Luna, Luna. or if there's a beautiful butterfly flying around, they're excited that it's their dog.
Oh,
wanting to play with them again. So they're getting these little lessons about life and people and connection. They watch us drop off the food, and while we were doing that, Amber, our older daughter, she said, Mom, can I go grocery shopping and buy some stuff for Tent City? Yeah, you can. And $50 is a lot for her. She doesn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
She spent $50, bought all this food, and we dropped it off to the Tent City.
And what do you bring to tent cities?
Every tent city is different. So the one that I am going to, what they have specifically asked for was generators. Other things is sanitation stuff that everybody needs and nobody can get. There's water, hand sanitizer, soap, Is everything okay?
No.
Yeah.
Mango. So I was can I show you what I was doing?
Excuse me.
John was outside and he's not listening to me. So
okay, how about everybody go outside for 10 more minutes? And then I'm gonna make you guys a snack. He's cute, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's story and ability is different, but I don't feel like I could be sustainable at this if I didn't have a team, a team inside the house, because we need to keep this place running and keep us safe. Of course, our main priority is our close family, our extended family, friends. I feel like we're at a good place right now. We're sustainable and we can help out a little bit more. I put on my website and how Tribal Electric is hanging up our tool belt so that we can do this other stuff. And if somebody needs help, they can contact me. And if I can't help them personally, I can give them resources. My daughter just came home right now who bought some food for the tent city, if you want to talk with her also.
Sure.
Wash your hands, and do you want to be part of an interview? Yeah. This is my first daughter, Amber.
Hi, Amber. Really good to meet you. I'm Becca.
Hi.
Hi. Can you tell me about going to tent cities? How you figured it out? What's it like?
Well, one of the things I was thinking about doing for the next tent city run was to get hygiene people. I don't think a lot of females get tampons because I don't think a lot of people think of that. I think people are more focused on food and everything, which is great. But I don't think a lot of people focus on maybe getting diapers or getting tampons because you don't really think about those kind of things.
So you've been going on these trips and then you decided to do your own trip?
Yeah, I decided to do my own trip because I wanted to help out. I don't know, at my work before, when the virus was going on, a lot of people had said that they think that the homeless community has contributed a lot to this, and I don't think that's really necessarily true.
Well, there's certainly a lot of people that have wealth and power that have the virus, so.
Yeah.
Part of the goal of this is to make these kinds of mutual aid efforts more accessible to people, they feel like they can pick them up and do them. And so I'm wondering if you have any thoughts for people about both sides of it, about what it takes to let in help and what it takes to figure out how to offer and extend and even insist.
What I think might be helpful for people who want to start out also is for them to know that it doesn't have to be like once a week, or you can be a one-time drop-off. Got $20 in your pocket and you wanted something to help, you can go and buy the things that they need to drop it off and call it a day. Like, it doesn't have to be a commitment. The idea is, if I do a little bit and you can do a little bit and you can do a little bit, and then not one person has to do everything.
Yep.
That's how we sustain this. This is how we help each other. That's how we're there for each other as a community. And I think what's great about what you're doing is that, like I said, if I just do one drop off and somebody hears about it, it might inspire them to go and do one of their own. If everybody just does one.
Yes.
It's not about like getting recognition or a pat on my back. I don't need none of that.
Yeah.
But if somebody can say, oh, well, I could do that, then that's what's worth it.
Yeah. Nice.
One time.
Yeah.
Everybody does one time.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning into Dispatches. So I want to tell you that the day after this interview, Boo sent me a message that just said, hey, doing a drop-off, need anything today? For those of you who might be looking for a practice to come out of today's episode, maybe make a new offer this week, or make a new ask, or both. Or notice an offer or an ask that was easy to dismiss, but you might pick it up and answer it. I want to dedicate today's episode to Wallace Roney, jazz trumpet player and protege of Miles Davis, who died in March of complications related to COVID. Rest in power, Wallace Roney. And if you're looking for music to play this week, try to play some of his music. Dispatches is a kitchen dance party production. Producers are myself, Becca Tilson, Basil Shadid, and Molly Tilson. Today's episode was edited by the fabulous Jill Irene Friedberg. Many thanks to all of our friends and supporters. If you like what we're up to at Dispatches, please rate and review us. Please tell your friends about us. And if you have an idea for a person we should talk to or a story we should tell, please get at us on our website. Until next time, remember that we need each other and we have each other.